Um, Mr. Islander, that's my son being the cameraman. Please forgive him. This is his first time being a cameraman. So anyhow, what I want to show you today and teach how to do is to pressure wash. Pressure washing is a whole lot of fun. At least to me it is. It's very satisfying because you got a fence that looks like this. The wood is old and grayed out, but then the object is to get it to turn into something like this. Now I had pressure washed this. It looks almost like it's brand new wood. When I pressure washed this wood just the other day, this wood was just as gray as this. And you're going to see it make a transformation in this little video here, in this how-to video. Got a couple things I need to talk about. First, number one is safety. You always got to talk about safety. When you're doing pressure washing, you always need eye protection, ear protection, and I think it's also good to have some music or hey, let's do an audiobook. I'm an English teacher, I got to tell you that. Or a podcast or something else to help you pass the time, because this is something that can take a while. So coming down over here to this pressure washer, now all pressure washers are going to be different. This one over here, if you come on over here, cameraman. So this is a Husky Honda engine GCV160 overhead cam. You probably don't care about that, and that's okay. But it's got 2,600 PSI and 2.3 GPM. Pop quiz, do any of you know what those mean? No, of course you don't, because that's why you're watching this video. So 2,600 PSI means pounds per square inch. That's the pressure that comes out of the nozzle. And then the 2.3 GPM stands for gallons per minute. So what this also has, this particular pressure washer also has a disc, and I'll be showing you that. The other thing that it has is a wand. And with this wand, you can use a couple different tips. And this one is angled for 25 degrees, meaning it'll go out in 25 degree. I'm sure there's a math lesson in there somewhere, but come over around. There are these other nozzles too that can work 40 degrees or 0 degrees, which is basically a straight line, and that could kill somebody. So we're not going to use that one. All right. But what I'm going to do is walk you through how to start the pressure washer. There are some techniques. The biggest thing that you need to do, if you come over here, I think actually, the biggest thing that you do is you keep the nozzle about the same uniform distance up and down as it cuts away at the grind and the whatever. If you go like this, it's going to be uneven, and you'll see that. Now you can also twist the nozzle to go like this. If I wanted to go across that way, you can do that. You're basically going up and down, and you want to keep it. You don't want to get too close, because that'll chew up the wood. You don't want to get too far, because then it won't do anything, because that'll get the wood wet. Okay. All right. So now this is how you're going to start the pressure washer. Go down here. I've already hooked up the garden hose, which is hooked up to the house water. I've already turned it on, and that's kind of important. Now, one of the other things you got to do is you squeeze the trigger to make sure that the water's coming out, and it'll get more powerful in just a minute. So you just make sure you got the water going on. You come around over here. This is what's called the choke. You open up the choke, and then you flip the switch on. Okay, so I showed you some do's and don'ts. Here you saw that I was going up and down pretty evenly, straight, going like this, covering it in a nice even wear. Here you noticed I was swaying back and forth like this, and this is the uneven mess that you get when you do that. Now, I also wanted to go over here to show you what you could do. You can be artistic if you want, but I don't recommend that because it looks like garbage. But there are a couple places where I got too close, and you can see it kind of tore up the wood a little bit. So it is about not getting so close, finding that perfect distance, and doing it nice, even distance, and you can always go back over. Last thing I wanted to show you with this particular pressure washer, it has a disc. Now with this disc, it basically has two nozzles that spin around. Actually, it'll spin this way. The water comes out this way and it'll spin. Now if you only hold it still, it'll create a very clean circle. But when you move the disc around, that's when it can clean a bigger area much more quickly than with the one. So let me show you how to do this. I'm not putting on the music, I'm just listening. So again, press the trigger. I don't need to choke it since the engine's warm. Flip it on. And so with the disc, it's a matter of moving in circles so you don't get lines. You just move it around until you get the area as clean as you want it to get. Now this wasn't as big of a dramatic difference because the driveway really wasn't all that dirty, but you can have still a very big change. So with that being said, now I think I'm ready to send you on your way because you know the basics of pressure washing.